Hello Redditors of the internet, Noble Xenon here, and welcome back to another Reddit video, and today we will be looking at r/VaxxHappened. These are people who think they're smarter than their own doctors. Let's get started. So I went behind my anti-vax parents 3 years ago to get the MMR2. They treated it as a massive issue until today, when a mumps outbreak was reported on my campus. Outbreak at uni? Cool, it's just spreading really fast across my campus now, and yeah, I'm good. I'm glad you had the MMR2 to be honest, and I apologize, you were right. Glad to see the anti-vaxxers actually learn something. Guys, did you know that human beings only have two true eye colors, brown and blue? All other eye colors such as hazel, green, orange, and white are 100% unnatural and are a result of a toxic lymphatic system. Iridology is a study of the iris that can identify the state of an individual's systematic health internally. A raw vegan fruitarian diet has been proven to reverse eye colors from green or hazel back to their original state of blue or brown. Your eyes are not only the window to your soul, but also the window to your body. Have you had any babies whose eyes have changed colors and wondered why? If your eyes aren't pure blue or brown, then get detoxing. Hashtag iridology, hashtag toxic overload. Well, with this kind of logic, the only toxic overload going on is in your brain. This next one is titled Acquaintance Posted This on Facebook. Made me angry of how badly this is done and people gobble it up. Why you should skip the flu shot. It contains the following scary ingredients: 25 micrograms of mercury, squalene MF59, polysorbate 80, egg protein, sodium deoxycholate, ethanol, formaldehyde, A-tocopherol hydrogen succinate, Triton times 100, disodium hydrogen phosphate heptahydrate, and dog kidney cells. Side effects listed on the inserts: blood and lymphatic disorders, gastrointestinal disorders, eye disorders, influenza-type illness, respiratory infections, metabolism and nutrition disorders, musculoskeletal and connective tissue disorders, nervous system disorders, psychiatric disorders, Guillain-Barré syndrome, and death. There have also been reports of other neurological illnesses, including facial paralysis, encephalitis or brain swelling, encephalopathy or brain damage, demyelinating disease, and labyrinthitis. Does this sound healthy to you? Educate before you vaccinate. And remember, our pseudoscience makes us way smarter than the doctors. Moving on. This next one is simply titled Laughing Emojis. Yes, you're missing something. Measles is still a risk because it's contained in vaccines and shed after injection. Smallpox isn't vaccinated against anymore. In fact, it's only produced in 2 places on 3 planets, USA and Russia, and stored for chemical warfare. And polio, non-existent in the developed world due to good hygiene and diet. Yes, smallpox is being produced on 3 different planets, guys. I did not know this, but the reason why people haven't gone to Mars is because the Russians infected it with smallpox. This next one's titled, I talked to anti-vaxxers about vaccines. They weren't informed at all. They had no idea what they were talking about. Isn't that the case, lady who denied her body produces formaldehyde as a part of its metabolism? I am not afraid to talk about vaccines because I believe in being informed. We cannot be informed without sharing information, so start the conversation. This next one's titled, Couldn't see this in past posts but may have just missed it. Either way, enjoy. From Poem for Your Sprog. When little Timmy went to school and mastered 1 to 9, he thought the other kids were cool and every class divine. He painted shapes in red and blue and drew in curves and bends. And by the time the day was through, he'd made 100 friends. I'm pals with Pete and Mike and Max, he told his pa with pride. But Timmy's folks were anti-vax and Timmy frickin' died. First they were against vaccines, and now apparently they're against X-rays. Help! My 5-month-old just went to the doctor at the end of October and everything was good. She weighed 16 pounds 8 ounces, and we just went back today because I noticed she was having a dry cough, and it concerned me, and so they weighed her again, and she weighed 15 pounds 10 ounces. The first time they took it, so when Doc came in, she was worried that she could have severe GERD with having a dry cough that could be a sign of acid reflux. And she does spit up quite a bit, but she was concerned she lost that much weight. She asked if she had been arching her back and acting like it was hard to eat. She hasn't been doing that, so I asked if she would just recheck her weight after she did breastfeed on me for a few minutes, and her weight was back up to 16 pounds 8 ounces. So she said, oh good, she's gained a pine since breastfeeding, but I'm like, there's no way she can gain a pound with just eating on me for that little bit, but they still requested I get her a chest x-ray to rule out pneumonia. Any advice? I really don't want her to have an x-ray. This next one is a friend for over 16 years. Didn't know he was so ignorant. I'm not necessarily anti-vaccine, but what I am is pro-critical thinking, and arriving at well-thought-out conclusions independently and not merely following the herd and subscribing to its groupthink. Now, while I do like the idea of vaccinations and the utilization of modern medical advancements to eradicate certain diseases and bolster our collective immunity, in that same breath, I must also say that I absolutely do not trust the health and well-being of my child to a trillion-dollar industry that has knowingly usurped its obligatory oath of do no harm and been caught red-handed time and time again, putting profits and shareholders before the lives of the sick and injured people who rely on them. Would any of you be so ignorant to tell me that you trust wholeheartedly that these multi-billion-dollar corporations really do have your children's best interests at heart? I mean, come on, how could you? Now, I kinda get where they're coming from. There are some really bad corporations out there who jack up the prices on necessary medication. That doesn't mean they would be pouring poison in your vaccines, though. This next one's titled, Saw a couple friends from high school interacting online. Spread facts, not diseases. The March for Science posted this Halloween yard decoration. And an anti-vaxxer comments, vaccinations kill and also have aberrated baby tissue. I will pass on vaccines. And a pro-vaxxer replies, firstly, spreading information like this is very dangerous and could result in the deaths of many people, especially children. If a pregnant, unvaccinated person contracts the disease rubella, it poses a significant threat to the life of their unborn baby. The best way to stop this happening en masse is to spread correct information on vaccinations. Secondly, if the risk of deaths were that substantially high compared to those of the disease, we legally wouldn't be allowed to get vaccinated. Thirdly, there is no aborted fetal tissue of any kind in the vaccine itself. Current vaccines are made using immortalized human cell lines, which are made immortal in laboratories. There is no aborted fetal tissue in the modern medicine. The benefits of vaccines, despite the past association with aborted fetal tissue, is so great that they've been endorsed by the Catholic Center for Bioethics, among others, as saying that vaccination is not a violation of any religious morals. I hope this helps, and please remember to get vaccines. If not for you, then the sick, elderly, and children in the community, so that you're not responsible for their death. Also, I did not know that we literally made cells immortal for this. That sounds frickin' badass. This next one is titled, MMR Vaccine Plunges Her Child into Autism. Stop mandatory vaccination posts. A concerned mother took her normal, healthy 18-month-old boy into the pediatrician's office to get the MMR vaccination, only to leave with a vaccine-injured child. The doctor said that the symptoms of the injury were normal. And apparently this is on YouTube. MMR vaccination plunges child into autism and mom will never vaccinate again. This must be one of those fake news stories. So I don't recommend watching this. That is, if it hasn't been taken down yet. This next one is from the exact same group. Larry Crook doing what he does best, making money from his gullible followers. Stock up now. Go to my Amazon storefront and grab a bunch of books before they are deleted out of Amazon. I prioritize my selections. First book you see is the one I recommend the most, and so on. Our best defense and offense against vaccine mandates is to be vaccine literate. These poor anti-vaxxers are literally being scammed by their own. I kind of feel bad for them, actually. This next one's titled, Bobby Bones giving some anti-vaxxers some stick. Keep pushing those vaccines. Bobby Bones, quit pushing that flu vax on your show. Is the CDC paying you? It's disgusting. I can't roll my eyes any harder. You're probably sleeping in your bomb shelter tonight, or living in your hut isolated in North Dakota. Are you a flat earther too? Cool if you don't want to get a flu shot. That's on you. Good for you for worrying about conspiracies and being manipulated while you are on Instagram that's stealing all our lives and data. This next one's titled, I'm surprised the kids made it this far. Anti-mandatory vaccination makes a post best family, hard eyes. Vaccines can cause injury and death, and this is probably one of the worst photoshops I've ever seen. They literally use a stock photo of a family to push their agenda. Who the hell's gonna believe this? This next one's titled, They Fully Believe in This Nonsense. Anyone not vaccinate their baby and then be told by everyone baby is extremely advanced? My baby girl's 16 days old and has been lifting her head since she came out and can already roll herself from her stomach to her back and from her back to her side. And someone else comments, my 16 almost 17 month old was doing that too. Isn't it amazing when we give our babies their own chance to gain their immunity? Our bodies do wonderful things. Yeah, I'm sure your baby will be very advanced in their life cycle when they die at age 3 instead of 83. This next one is another post from Stop Mandatory Vaccination. These guys are everywhere. If you see these things that aren't there or imagine vaccine injuries everywhere, you should probably see a psychiatrist. I work in the ER. It is insane how ignorant people are, including staff and doctors. I triage vaccine-injured kids all day and never once has a staff or a doctor recognized it. I wonder if it's because it didn't happen. This next one is titled, What the Actual Hell? If you tell people to believe women when they say they've been violated, but then don't believe women when they say their child has been vaccine-injured, you're a hypocrite. Whoa there, hold on, those comparisons aren't even close. This next one's titled, Costco in Canada knows what's up. Do I need a flu vaccination? Good question. Here's a simple chart to help you decide. Are you a human? Yes. If not, whether you're a dog, houseplant, rocking chair, or whatever, congrats on being able to read. Very impressive. Are you over 6 months of age? Yes. If not, it's too early for you, little one. Enjoy those naps. You'll miss them someday. And if you know how to read at 6 months, you must be one of those super advanced children the anti-vaxxers were talking about. Do you ever go out in public? Yes. If not, you should get out more. Your flu risk may be lower, but is it worth it? I mean, a neckbeard might justify it's worth it as long as he's being fed chicken tendies. Did you enjoy reading this chart? Doesn't matter. You still need a flu vaccination. This next one's titled, I'm not one for doxing, but I wish this dad could be notified. Help! My ex took her daughter to the doctor today. They say she has flu B and prescribed her Tamiflu. I've sent him the studies on the dangers of the drug and his response is, nah, I think I'll listen to the physician. I get her back tomorrow when I plan to destroy the rest of the prescription, but the damage will have been done with what he gives her today. How can I help my baby in the 2 days that I have her to reverse the damage and fight this flu bug? This next one's titled, Spotted One in the Wild. This was on a post about measles. Measles is not scary, and the only ones with measles in the news are those who have been recently vaccinated to prevent them. Ridiculous. MMR sheds. And you are not very bright. She uneducated. So uneducated they had to say it twice. This next one's titled, Join the Herd Immunity Community. Why worry about vegan kids getting enough B12 when it's unvaccinated kids who aren't getting enough of being 12? Well, good question there, but really we should be worrying about both, because Darmok on the Ocean comments, in all seriousness, B12 is the only nutrient you can't get from a vegan diet, and vegans should absolutely take a supplement if they want to be healthy. Most multivitamins have B12. There are other nutrients that are difficult to get, like omega-3 fatty acids, but B12 is the only impossible one. It's actually a little controversial among hardcore vegans. They point to things like nutritional yeast, which have B12 just in totally insufficient amounts. Some vegans even claim that you can get adequate B12 by eating unwashed produce, which almost certainly isn't true, similar to how some people mistakenly claim Epstein killed himself. Wow, you just had to put that in there. Edit. People in the comments have pointed out I forgot to mention fortified foods. Those can be good sources of B12 as well. Finally, people here are dropping knowledge instead of ignorance. In 1736, I lost one of my sons, a fine boy of 4 years old, by the smallpox, taken in the common way. I long regretted bitterly, and I still regret that I had not given it to him by inoculation. This I mention for the sake of parents who omit that operation, on the supposition that they should never forgive themselves if the child died under it. My example showing that the regret may be the same either way, and that therefore the safer should be chosen. 222 years later, Benjamin Franklin's message about vaccination matters more than ever. This is as close as you're gonna get to a dead ancestor appearing in the sky and telling you to get your crap together. And those inoculations that Ben Franklin were talking about were actually risky. Like, way riskier than these vaccines we have today. Yet these anti-vaxxers just want to go on and on about how vaccines can kill you. I just don't understand. Anyway, I'd like to thank Bionic, Seth Southwell, and Peter Danklage for becoming members of the royalty, and all of my other patrons. You can join in the link below, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like. If you have something interesting to say, don't forget to comment. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. See you guys next time.